Walker Talker. Welcome to the Walker Talker. Welcome to the Walker Talker. Welcome to the Walker Talker. So let's get to talking.
Welcome to the Walker Talkers, indeed. Blah. Ron here.
And Raider Pete or Walker Pete maybe this evening.
Blah. And we're here tonight to review, of course, Season 9, Episode 3 of The Walking Dead.
It titled what?
Well, you go ahead and tell him, Pete.
Point. Oh, sorry. It's a choke point.
Yes. And as I mess up my puppetry, we will lead you guys into an awesome opening scene. In this corner we have Daryl, and in the other corner we have, well, Beta. Let's see them duke it out in this opening scene.
Where are you going? All right, I'm out of here too then. Laters.
Oh, shit. What's going on, guys?
Where's the rack on?
Welcome to PanNerdia. AA Ron here.
Raider Pete.
And welcome back to The Walker Talkers, the Walking Dead review show where we discuss The Walking Dead, particularly Season 9, Episode 13, Choke Point, or Gwack Point. And, well, we're here to talk about the show that we, just have less and less energy about and enthusiasm about each week. But we're here. There was some cool scenes, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, and we told you we're going to open up, have an opening scene. Look at me. Here we go. How about that? We pop them in a frame for you. And how will we show you this one scene that really sold us on this episode?
Is it the WWE version of Walking Dead?
Yes, you got that. What up, Robert? Oh, dang. Whoa, dip and dodge.
Oh, you got a knife? I got a knife. You have two? I have two.
Yeah, the dual knife and pretty tight. Swap, swap, wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
So now I know what Norman Reedus was talking about when he was interviewed like months ago about having the knives and having to fight with them like that. And like he didn't really get to do that much when Rick was alive, but now we're seeing him.
Yeah, man.
Many years later.
And it's cool, man. I appreciated that fight. It was, you can look at it as a little cheesy, but it was exciting. You know, it's kind of like the two, alpha males, no pun intended, with this season. So it was cool, man. Sorry if the stream keeps dipping out on you guys. It shouldn't be. It is on my playback screen, though. But anyway, but there was speaking of alpha, there was no alpha in this episode.
Oh yeah, there was not.
Yeah, it was just beta. So yeah, well, speaking of this episode, let's talk about it. What do we have, Pete? A little synopsis, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just do a little play-by-play. We can break in at any moment and add on whatever thoughts you may have. But yeah, Choke Point starts off Henry biffs, in the woods, and Daryl gives lip service to Henry and Lydia, but Connie and Dog convince them to go the alternate route, and Daryl ends up following along. But Beta says goodbye to a dying Whisperer, which was really interesting because I guess it was like a lieutenant Whisperer of some sort. But there's a woman in dreads. It's obviously not her hair, and because it's part of the Whisperer mask. So she's kind of important, but we don't know what she looks like yet, and she's definitely new. So
I have a feeling we'll get to know more Whisperers. Cause I think they're gonna be here for a while.
No name for her just yet. But I just put Beta replies with Beta replies with a like, because when he's like talking to the chicken dreads,
Yeah.
it's like he's like whispering, but it just sounds like.
Yeah, because he has.
Did you catch that?
Yeah. Did you guys also catch that he basically has fucking Christian Bale's Batman voice? Pretty much.
He does.
Yes.
Well, even my dog Cece could not figure out what the guy was saying, but anyway, the kingdom counsels about the highway pirate threat. Tara is traveling with her group from Hilltop and hits a roadblock, perhaps a trap. They start clearing the road. Daryl makes it clear to Lydia when on their separate trips, that he's needs to stake out in a higher point, and that's where they find this abandoned building that you saw the clip from take place, and allow Beta's group to get trapped, saying, and then the infamous words, "I'll kill him first," which they were advertising before this episode aired. But Carolyn, I think Cynthia, the bow chick, they convince Ezekiel and Jerry to try negotiating with the highway pirates, which was actually an excellent thing, because you just gained so much without losing anything by just talking to them.
The guy was kind of lame. He was using scare tactics. He's almost like, he's very Eugene-esque, if you think about it. He's a big dork.
What was the convincing point that they all like just dropped their weapons and like, what?
Oh, what was it again?
When was the last time, Carol says, you've seen a movie?
Yeah,
just
right.
Period.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, wait, okay.
Never mind. Like everything we just said, never mind. Water under the bridge. But, so yeah, that was interesting. Ezekiel's group confronts them, and that's what ends up happening. Carol swoops in with that line, and with that cornball line, it was really super cornball. But, I mean, I don't remember anything that cornball in such a serious scene ever in Walking Dead.
There's been times between either something Tara said or...
Well, of course, with her, right? Speaking of her group is ambushed by walkers and obviously saved by these highwaymen that are now their escorts to the fair / the trade. The checkpoint entry for the Whisper-led walkers works only on a small group of Beta Whispers can climb through it, which was exactly what Connie, who has scouted that place and stocked that place and stayed at that place as
they had a whole little hidden surplus ready.
So she's proven to be very valuable, probably more valuable than the rest of her group, her original group that came in. Just the way she can maneuver, her sneakiness, her knowledge, and the fact that she's got spots with water and food stashed away.
And will we would we ship her and Daryl?
What do you mean?
Put them together?
Nah, I doubt it.
They had little flirties?
They talked about that on The Talking Dead.
Of course they did.
And she was one of the guests. And the Beta guy was the other guest, and the super fan teacher lady. But it was kind of a weird...
so she totally brought up the shipping thing.
So exactly. And I think maybe it was even the question from the studio audience happened to be that exact question or something. Maybe, I forget, but... She seemed to joke about how there's going to be a shower scene with the two of them, and then said no, there's really going to be more of a kind of like a teammate kind of relationship kind of thing.
Okay, right on.
I don't think Daryl's going to hook up with anyone until Ezekiel's dead. Maybe he'll end up with Carol ultimately.
It's just him and Dog.
Just him and Dog. Nobody else.
Nobody else. Just Daryl and Dog. All right. So any outcomes this episode, brother?
Let me think. Outcomes. Let's see. Well, Connie, Henry, and Dog fight with only Henry getting wounded, so the outcome is Beta goes down the elevator shaft and they get away.
And he wakes up, bruh. Yeah, right. I'll get you.
There was blood splatter.
He got wrecked, dude. I mean, he fell down the elevator shaft. He got fucked up. It was a cool fight.
I'm looking at your camera shots. I don't know if there's one.
Right there.
Oh, there you go. There you have it. Perfect.
And then Henry getting stabbed to the leg. That's pretty rough.
The showdown. I guess I could just tell you my appreciation at this point, but the showdown started off with 2x4s, and then the single knife, and then the double knife fight action. So that was pretty awesome. And then it started off with a WWE spear into the unfinished walls.
Yeah, and then it ended up with Daryl diving through one of the walls and getting into that room before Big Boy ran in and tried breaking it down, hiding in that little hidden surplus trap door.
3 seconds, it seemed.
For him to walk over by the elevator shaft and then get punted down it. So it was rad. It was pretty cool.
But at the end, basically, the fair opens and they're like, where is Where's Daryl? Was he with
Right.
Henry? Oh, who's that? Who's they with? Oh, nobody knows. So, what's
Outcome
gonna
is-
happen now?
Yeah, you got 4 on the loose, and one of those 4 is from the other.
And
other
how
clan.
big is the Whisper army? Are there like 2 or 3 armies that are all ultimately led by Alpha?
Right.
So in other words, can she have enough walkers and whispers to herd through all of our survivors communities here?
Well, there's one thing going on right now, getting ready to start at least, is the fair, and there's, Alpha and Beta looking for Lydia, and something's about to happen. So before we roll into talking about characters and what could be happening to them, let's discuss specifically with our Fans Choice 1, who's next?
Who is next?
Who the hell is next? Because something's going down on the next episode, Scars. Not only will we might learn about some other characters past with some certain scars they have, but perhaps new scars will be made on tonight's episode.
Speaking of scars, here are the top 5 of who might be next. Michonne has a scar. Going to reveal in tonight's episode exactly what went down. We're going to find out. I don't know if they're going to have a bunch of scenes of like what happened when, or if Michonne's just going to tell it.
Right.
But we're going to find out tonight. Henry's the other one. He's
Right.
always in super danger no matter where he's at.
He's injured right now. I mean, it's through his, because main part of his leg, his
Artery
thigh.
there.
Yeah, dude. It's like, so, and something's happening, and he's out. He's away from, his parents. He's with Daryl and Dog and Connie, but still, he's in
good
grave
company.
danger right now. And now you got Big Beta waking up grumpy, so
Right.
who knows?
Then you've got Ezekiel, who is he going to go out now and try to seek and find Henry and
Well-
Daryl, not knowing where they're at exactly?
And not only that, we can look into, a little bit with the comics and what's to come, and, well,
Ezekiel's one of those people on the list, isn't he?
yeah, he's one of the
Pike
Pike.
death.
Yep. So, who knows, man? That could be coming now, or it could be coming in the next 3 episodes.
And then, of course, Tara, just because she's an important leader and she's one of the kind of the OGs, back from season 3.
You gotta admit, she's trying. In this last episode, she pretty badass up until a point where the street pirates, now the street patrol,
Our good guys now.
came in and helped. But
Yeah.
she's putting herself in danger to be this leader. But is her confidence gonna get in the way?
Well, just that she's outside of her own safe walls, leaving her city. Like when they go to
Who's
this
on
fair,
deck?
who stays behind?
Who's on deck for the hilltop right now with Tara?
Like
out?
maybe the Whispers don't attack the fair, but we'll talk about that. In
Yeah, is there
predictions.
enough for them to split up between communities, or
Right.
just go all attack the fair?
And then Lydia, of course, is our 5th person. So Michonne, Henry, Ezekiel, Tara, and Lydia.
And
Like,
Lydia.
which one of those 5 is going to be next?
Lydia is the high stake kind of item right now. She's the one that the 2 groups are quote unquote fighting for. One more in particular, but now she's essentially in Alpha's eyes a POW, and she wants her daughter back. So.
Bring back my daughter. Bring my daughter back.
So, what do you guys think? What do these guys think? The itty bitties.
Oh, they're so adorable.
Yes, right. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
We'll see.
Who's next? Who is it behind anyway today?
They're not very talkative anymore. I think they're
see.
pissed off at
Not
people.
Michonne. Oh, it's behind the walker. How
Of
appropriate.
course.
How appropriate. Pete, would you like to let the folks know?
The unfolding answer is it Michonne? Is it Henry? Is it Ezekiel? Is it Tara? Is it Lydia? No, it is...
Drop down a little bit. All the above.
all the above. That's right.
Why is it all the above? Because we need some jumpstart action in this show. We need some clearinghouse, wholesale, everything must go decisions right now. Make this, make something high stakes. Make something crazy. Make us think, okay, that got our attention. I mean, come on, Pete. What do you think, man?
I just think it needs to be exactly what Seth Gilliam said a couple of weeks ago or whatever. He said there will be lots of deaths to come.
Right.
Lots of impactful ones. So these Pike deaths, I don't know. What are we on? We're going to be watching 14 tonight, so we've got 3 episodes left.
Yes.
So I guess tonight we're going to learn what happened with the show in the past.
Right.
Then next week we're going to get to the fair.
Right.
And then the following week we're going to have the Pike deaths. It's kind of like, I hope they at least progress that fast, or faster.
Is it going to be deaths in all episodes, or are they going to start
They're going to
tonight?
spread out Pike deaths,
Tonight.
or is it going to be like sprinkling of them? Or
I mean, dude, it could get intense. Is the whole episode going to be just about Michonne's past?
I'll tell you what. What's our next segment? Characters. All right, we can get into that a little bit more, because there's the characters that are left, the ones that were at least in the featured episode from last week. In Checkpoint, where Henry, any words on Henry? Like, right now, he is following Daryl and Lydia back to Alexandria because Daryl said that's closer.
Right.
So I guess that's where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So Lydia is going to see the inside of Alexandria for the first time. She's going to meet Michonne for the first time. Or no, second time. Michonne was there when she was captured.
So they're going to Alexandria first, you think, before they go back to the fair?
I think so, because that's what Daryl said.
Okay,
as they took off, it's like, it's just closer. We're going to go there.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Especially since Henry's injured like he is.
Right. Which is probably a good thing, too, because, like, if the Alexandrians are already left to go to the fair, and Michonne's staying back, maybe she needs Daryl there, too, because there might be people following, Lydia and stuff, tracking them after the whole beta showdown.
Right.
So they're going to need all the help they can get if maybe that's what I'm saying. So, like, another thing, Daryl himself, if he's gonna be in Alexandria and not at the fair,
right?
That's a plus. Any thoughts on Lydia once she goes in there? You think she's gonna be more of a spy, or she's gonna be like?
I think she's still on the fence, but I think since Henry is hurt, she's gonna find some kind of she's gonna want to help him, and that's what's gonna draw her closer and kind of snap her out of that kind of shit. I think if anything, she's gonna end up falling for the Alexandrians and wanting to be on the side more, but that'll ultimately be her downfall. Because her mom's that psycho. What
about Beta? Is he going to live the rest of this season and die, or is he going to make it to season 10 and die there?
I think he might die. He definitely showed that he's not all. He definitely is the Beta, because Daryl was the alpha in that fight, and unless he has something to prove, he's probably going to get shoved to the side too. Alpha doesn't have time for that shit. She'll probably replace him with Negan.
I bet you the woman in dreads maybe is going to be the closest thing we see to a significant-ish death of the other side tonight. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to get any significant deaths tonight.
We might, man.
I mean, it's called Scars. It's going to be probably 75 to 85% all about what happened in the past.
Right.
I hope I'm wrong.
Who knows, man?
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's 50-50. I hope we get a lot of action, as well as all that background stuff. Well, who else is there to talk about besides, Tara? We kind of discussed her.
Right.
She's a leader, but now she's on the move to go to the fair, so she's exposed.
What about during that attack, Grace, how she had, she was in the main part of the cart that had, the spikes sticking out for the walkers couldn't get it, and she put the baby in, a special baby compartment where the walkers couldn't get
Grace
to
under
it.
fire. That's Yeah, that's right. That was excellent. When she closed the lid, I'm like, of course. Brilliant. People should have thought of this way back earlier in the apocalypse to have a nice little treasure chest that the walkers can't get in, that the baby can still breathe fresh air.
I mean, if you're transporting them distance, you got to worry about it. That's one good thing. I mean, obviously, once you start worrying about walkers that are actually humans in disguise, that's a little different. But
that was a nice little new something that they added in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, other than that, we got Connie. It's just cool to see how resourceful she is and how, she knows what's up.
And Dog. He's pretty resourceful.
Dog.
Actually, Dog had an action scene where he took down some dude, and my God, that dog was flying. I mean, it looked like he was one of those Roshan Purina pros that does the pool jump, the long jump. Dog did a long jump and took down one of the Whisperers.
Oh, what about when the dog and Lydia were in the one room waiting while they went and when Daryl stealthy went slitting throats and shit. Oh yeah, what about when Daryl axed the guy on the? I got a picture of that somewhere back here.
Oh, is there?
I think there is. Yeah. I think there was.
Through the sheet. Yeah.
But anyway, the dog.
Very old school.
The dog growling at Lydia because he heard noises. Pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
But other than that, there weren't many characters to focus on this episode other than,
But people are happy now, like you said, like the Grace Under Fire character and stuff. Like they've got a little baby boy, and they're happy. You know what happens in Walking Dead? People are happy. Oh, Jerry's got multiple kids now. Everything's gonna
Well, now they got the Street Patrol, man. They don't have to worry about shit. What about that guy? What do you guys think about that character? I thought he was a little corny in my mind.
I thought he was needed though, because they kind of need some sort of like a remnants of like not what Negan's version of the saviors are, but like this a newer, like watered down version that's willing to do the dirty work.
Right.
That doesn't really care as much to be inside the walls and part of the everyday stuff. But I'll tell you what, after they get this fair,
right,
they might be. I don't know. I would like to know how big this army is.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think they're definitely, in terms of showing us through this cinematography of the show, they're definitely misleading us on how big this group is, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, speaking of what they've done with this show, not only special effects, practical acting, and whatnot, what do we appreciate about episode 13, season 9 of The Walking Dead, Pete?
Well, finally some fisticuffs,
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, the fact that, like, we've seen people protect walls, or we've seen walkers being driven and herded from place to place, like the famous rock quarry walkers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those were all amazing mega scenes, but at the same time, I would have to say you never really see a good hand-to-hand combat anymore, and now we're seeing it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a while, unless it was like amongst a big battle, like when Rick was like battling like the governor at the end, or Negan at the end or something, and it's like, no, this was just a one-on-one kind of like, and you got to see the strength and the weaknesses
think about
of both.
all the explosions and gunfights we
Right.
saw in the last 3 seasons, even the
Right.
first half of this one, and no more explosions. There's not much gunfire, so
Yeah,
it's
pretty
kind of
much.
nice though.
Yeah, it's a good change, and I like the weapons out. There's double blades, and it was cool. I appreciated the fight for sure. I mean that definitely in the episode was probably the most appreciated thing. Other than that, man, I mean that's about it really. That's what caught me this episode, was just the fact that they had that. They gave Daryl a little more shine. Made him a little more of the leader type in that scene, because he just showed Alpha's beta, who's boss.
Yeah.
And now he can go, running back to his master with his tail between his legs.
I think Dog, speaking of tail between legs, I think Dog stole the show, and I mean, he really did. I mean, he did a great job. I think Dog needs a little more props.
Right. Props, Dog.
Woof.
All right, woof woof indeed. And speaking of woof, let's look at this short ass preview that I was able to pull. Only 13 seconds this week. Really short, guys. I'm sorry about that. That's all we got, though. Let me turn up the slideshow and get the preview up here for you guys, shall we? What?
Is your pup in danger?
But for real, they didn't show us much this week, man. Something about Judith is gone, and then Michonne's looking, and obviously something about her past, probably.
Well, the extended preview I saw, which I don't know if it was an extension of any of those shots, but it showed Michonne sitting on the steps of one of the Alexandria homes talking to Lydia. So they do make it to Alexandria.
Okay, cool.
And Michonne starts reminiscing about how she had to sacrifice people in order to save a whole lot more people. And she wishes she could change that. But she also looked like she was kind of being tricky, and you can look out for this on tonight's episode. She was eyeballing, even though she was kind of muttering and talking about her past stuff, looking forward, but her eyeballs were facing Lydia, and Lydia was kind of looking down at her hands, and she was targeting Lydia when she said, I wish I could just sacrifice myself, take myself away, far away from everything, and that would save everyone else. Because if you really know that's the true thing that needs to happen, then that's what one should do. In other words, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, like, get the hell out of here, go far away.
Yeah, dude. Okay, well, that's nice. Well, thanks for the insight, Pete, because I didn't know that. I unfortunately did not see the instant preview. I wish I would have gave that to you guys, but hey, you heard it here from Pete.
The preview
what's
you
up.
provided actually had like action and multiple characters. All I saw
just wish it
was
was
a little
longer.
snippet conversation with those two
You
characters.
just think with only 3 episodes left, the preview would be a little, a little bit more substantial. But hey, that leads us to our final blast. What do we got to say, man? Let's wrap this up. Let's get these folks
3
to the
episodes
show.
to go. I just want to be wowed by 16. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have high expectations for tonight's episode and next week's, but I kind of do for 16. I think that's the least we deserve after taking Rick away after 5 episodes and us painstakingly waiting to see what all this Scar business is about till now, and then painstakingly waiting to see when these Pike deaths start and how big they're going to be until maybe the last episode here of this season, or maybe even wait until season 10. So that's my final blast, is like, let's have let's make a big impactful episode or 2 to round out this season.
Let me throw it to you straight, guys. Henry and Lydia has been getting more screen time than Michonne, and than anybody else who's important. Even Alpha, right? Enough of these two. I don't give a crap about their story. If it was Carl, where it should have been Carl the whole time, maybe I would give a shit about it.
Because Carl has had more pull, had more knowledge, had more experience, all that.
Had more connection to us as the viewers.
Yeah.
So he would have been in the dangerous situation. It would have been better with Daryl coming to get him at that point, or at that point could have probably
So
actually
what
been
you're
Rick.
saying is, if Henry dies in the next 2 or 3 episodes, you're not going to be bummed out.
Yeah, can we change Fans Choice 1 to Henry?
Oh, sure.
Itty bitties. Pretty much my final blast is, look, they gotta wow us in 16 because yes, the one thing that's been the main thing that's been keeping our interest this season is this second half of the season is those damn scars and what they mean, and we're finally gonna find out tonight, so it better be worth it. We know what's ahead based contractually on what the actors have going on, but like. As far as the show goes, how are they gonna let these actors, these characters go? Are they just gonna do a fucking Maggie? Are they gonna, or do a Rick? Are they gonna do it right? Are they gonna end the season right and end it with a bang? Are they gonna kill the right people to make us really think and make us ponder about what's next to the show? Or are they gonna drop the ball? That's my final blast. Get out of here, Henry and Lydia. Your story's lame to me right now. It would be better if Carl. Yeah, I repeated that a lot, but it would be. It's Henry is just. I have no connection, and if you have if you watch, I'm gonna say right now, this is where I will jab on somebody's opinion, and this just because it's this annoying to me in the show. If you think Henry's story is actually interesting, if you actually have some kind of connection to the character Henry and not his supposed taking over a Carl spot, but actually Henry, then why the fuck you're not a true Walking Dead fan because you want the demise of the show. That's what my final blast is.
All right, there you have it. Aaron is.
You can tell I'm very upset with this show.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great show. Like season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so great.
Yeah.
6 was kind of tipsy topsy. Then 7 was actually pretty good, and 8 actually had revenge and all kinds of fun stuff. And then 9 comes around, and then Rick's out the door.
All the main characters
So it's like
gone.
the Carl was the first domino. Didn't it feel kind of like once he
was
was gone, you kind of felt like, uh-oh.
So if anything, look at us as somebody to chill with and discuss how stupid The Walking Dead is getting now because of Carl. Because we've been here since Carl's swan song, and we'll be here just probably to the end of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what. That until there's a Rick movie, and that'll be next year.
Right.
Well, we look forward to doing Westworld and maybe Better Call Saul. I don't know. Nothing's really in the works. We gotta wait till next year. But there is one thing this year that
it's really got us excited, and we're really pumped for.
The fan base is there, and we're part of it. And the fandom alone is gonna be. There's just so much to talk about. We're talking the 8th season premiere and final season premiere
of Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. Our new show, Go Time, on the Twitch. We're moving over to Twitch for our live review shows.
Go Time.
The Sunday of the second episode premiere. We'll see you guys there.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll see you guys here next Sunday for the Walker Talkers. You guys enjoy the show. Peace out.
Enjoy the enjoyment. I know we will.
Yes.
And enjoy a spring break if you have one now or next week. Enjoy plenty of enjoyment.